single time we've done a rehearsal for this, but this is an ability that you always want to see, but no one has ever done it, at least especially not in a multiplayer game. Like, I've never seen something like this in a game, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm super proud of everyone involved.
Is so much fun.
I also love, this is just a small detail for me, but I love the little timer that you get with his sword.
Oh, yeah. I guess a small detail. This is a perfect shield. Like, it will stop bullets, it will stop projectiles, it will stop projectile ultimates. And we were very careful about, like, we want to maintain like a hard leash on balancing for it. So that clock there is it's representing the time it's going to be up. It's always going to be 5 seconds. You can't extend the lifetime through cards, and you can't decrease the cooldown through cards, only through Chronos.
So it's only going to be that 5-second uptime for this shield.
Yep.
So if you mistime it even slightly, or if your opponent just waits until it's gone, you're in the clear. You don't have to worry about it. So it's going to be pretty critical, I guess, in timing on that. Plus, I think you said that this one has a pretty decent cooldown on it as well.
Yeah, all of Atlas's cooldowns are 12 plus seconds. They're all powerful.
You can imagine why.
But you got to be very careful about how you use them. You can't just blow your load and then be like, now what do I do? Because he is not the beefiest tank. He's got 3,500 health. He's a little fragile. He doesn't have like an aggressive movement ability.
If you think very similar to like a barrack style play, like you're going to have to be a little bit more careful. You can survive on the point, but you're not going to survive under heavy fire for long, which is why, you know, things like second chance are very important to him.
Exactly.
But because of that, he's a little on the weaker side in terms of some of the front lines. He also gets a really, really cool ultimate called Exile.
That's right. So I guess Exile is probably one of the more different ultimates we've done in the game. So I guess, quick description, it powers up his awesome gun arm chrono cannon and changes its functionality a little bit. And it basically is a CC ultimate that when you get like 3 shots during a little period of time after you've charged up the gun, and anyone you hit will be banished for 4 seconds. And banish is a new sort of CC coming into the game. It's not exactly a stun. What it is it's, for anyone who's like played MOBA games, essentially a like, get you out of play sort of effect. You're basically stunned as far as you're concerned when you're hit by it, but you're also safe. You can't be shot by enemies, and you can't be healed by allies. You can't be interacted with.
You're out of time.
You are undamageable, unhealable. And I think we had actually, I asked this yesterday, and if I remember correctly, the answer was, if you are like, if your out of combat timer is going down right then, and you're like about to start getting that heal, this will actually pause it. And then when you come back into game, it'll continue, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that was like a little detail. I remember the programmer working on this was like trying to put in like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't think of that, but that's really cool.
And one of the things about this, because I can already, the first thing I thought was, man, I'm going to win so many point fights.
Yep.
But you're banished. Technically, you can't get healed, you can't get damaged, but you are still able to contest a point and contest a payload.
That's right. You're still there. We didn't want to like mess with that. Just feels awful.
Yeah.
If you were
to
there.
get just removed from the game.
Exactly.
Like
So I guess like one thing to note with this is that because it's this very different CC than what's been in the game so far, it's probably the furthest from an I win button as like a lot of our ults are, because it's not necessarily a good thing when you use it. Maybe you actually save the enemy if you take them out of play and when they were about to be killed or something. It's really good for follow-up play. It's really good for like turning a 5v5 into like a 2v5 or something for a few seconds.
And that is one of the things. So all of those shots are precision shots, but you get 3 of them. So you could potentially get up to 3 people out, but if you miss one, that's immediately one more target that's going to stay on the field that you have to battle.
Yeah, and like Victor ult, you can cancel out of it early after you get like 1 shot in, conserve some of your energy for early ultimate next time. You can also stay into it for like it's like a 5-second period, and the duration of the banish is 4. So you can potentially double hit someone if you wait out the entire period with them to also banish them again.
Very cool.
I can imagine that's going to be my experience playing the new Inaris again. I'm going to be sitting there, and there's going to be that one Atlas player who's going to banish me, and they're just going to wait, and then they're going to banish me again. I can already feel it coming in all of my games. But those are all of his abilities, looking incredible. Again, still playing with time for him. But we also have his talents, and we decided we'd go over these in the order that they're unlocked. And so the very first one is called Unstable Fissure, which affects his second chance.
That's right. So what Unstable Fissure does is when you activate Second Chance, it will essentially leave a little bomb, a little present for anyone who's stuck around in that space that you were just in. Let's see if we can get it up here. No, not Second Fissure. Unstable Fissure. There you go.
Fist you.
No.
I already heard Garrett on the side.
Unstable Fisher.
That's the only the downside of making the cool sounding names is that they do get a little more difficult to spell after after a while.
Exactly.
I can already say temporal divide. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil that that's the name of another one, but temporal is not a word you get to hear all the time.
So as you see there, what he leaves behind is a little, essentially a bomb, an unstable fissure that will explode in about 3 seconds and deal 900 damage to anyone in a decent radius around it. It's a really, really strong tool for controlling point fights. If you're just like, okay, I need to retreat, I need to get my bearings, but you guys have to get off my point.
Yeah. So you can save the objective and save yourself all in one go.
Exactly. It is on his longest cooldown ability though, so it's not exactly you can't just spam this and just leave bombs everywhere.
Yeah. No. And this is one of the things that when I first saw this, because I was given a little more misleading of a description the first time I saw this, but shielding still blocks the damage, still kind of keeps it. So it's not going to be a sky bomb. It's just a regular kind of damaging ability.
Just think of a really big sticky bomb.
Yeah, a really, really big sticky bomb. But that is his first talent that you will get. And I think that's the one that is available with him upon release.
That's right.
And then the next one that you would have to go through and unlock is the one called Temporal Divide. And this one actually affects his stasis field.
That's right. This one is maybe one of my favorites, just because of how ridiculous it is. And we're going to keep a close eye on this, make sure it's balanced correctly. So yeah, as you saw right there. It just makes his stasis field huge.
That
it makes
never
it
gets old.
6 times bigger, and you can pretty much divide the map. But there is a slight, it's super strong. You can basically lock out a lot of long-range damage dealers this way, but it does have a downside to it. It's one of those few talents with a built-in negative. Your cooldown is increased by 50%, so it goes all the way to 21 seconds.
And so, and it's still just the 5-second uptime on the wall as well.
Right.
So you're throwing that out there. Yes, it's going to be great coverage, but it's 5 seconds of coverage that maybe a Kinessa isn't going to maybe shoot you, but you're going to have to withstand the longest cooldown that you're going to have.
Exactly. It's just really cool, just doing plays with this, because it's so long, you can potentially angle yourself. If you're still running to the point, you're okay, I know someone needs shielding this way. I'm just gonna angle myself and boop.
Being able to find that from a long range, and now you can see finally off cooldown. That's how long it takes. Yes. We had a full little discussion while it was on cooldown, and it's only up for that 5 seconds. But it is a very effective 5 seconds that you'll have there. That is going to be the first one that you unlock. The second talent, and this one's the one I have to make sure I don't do it every single time. But it's called Deja Vu.
I've just been in this place before.
This one affects his setback, and this is the one that when I first saw it, I was like, this is my go-to, and then I started seeing Temporal Divide, and then I saw all of them. It's going to be really hard to choose which talent you want here, but Deja Vu is a very interesting change to setback.
That's right. So it's another one that sort of changes the functionality of abilities. We really wanted to make his talents feel very different and impactful in gameplay changing ways. So what this does is it changes the setback ability from a straightforward projectile into an AoE lobbed projectile that can potentially rewind a big group of enemies. It's a lot slower, but it's a lot more confirmable because of that AoE, and it is just amazing when you're trying to fight against a death ball comp. They're all just grouped together. Just imagine the classic situation. You're not doing so hot. The payload's rolling in. All 5 of them are just standing there. Someone's doing an emote. Vivian's just shooting endlessly. This one is just okay, I just want to cut that death ball in half. Half of you are now off. Go somewhere else. Let me pick off these other guys.
This was the one that I was thinking. If you get a master riding, you have your own rewind. You have this talent enabled. You run up. You send as many of them back